her way and full of love's keen sting. Put her under a Norwegian sky, where the melting snow mimics her eyes. Give her a pastor to play host, and watch them exercise their ghosts.
Well then, Pastor, I will tell you the truth. I told myself that one day you should know it, and you alone.
What is the truth, then?
The truth is that my husband died just as dissolute as he had lived all these days after 19 years of marriage. He died as dissolute in his desires as before he married us.
I don't understand you. Your marriage was nothing more than a hidden abyss? This seems impossible to me. How could this be kept a secret?
Nobody seemed to be able to believe anything but good of him. But then, Pastor, the most repulsive thing happened.
More repulsive than what you have told me?
He brought it within our walls. I was busy with something in the other room, and the door was standing ajar. I heard our housemaid come up from the garden soon after Alvin followed. I heard him say something softly to her, and then I heard my own servant maid whisper, "Let me go, Mr. Alvin, let me be." Mr. Alvin had his way with the girl, and that connection had consequences.
And you were able to bear all this?
I had to bear all of it for my little boy's sake. It was then I sent Oswald away. It seemed to me the child must be poisoned by just breathing the air of this polluted home. That was why I sent him away, and now you can see, too, why he was never allowed to set foot in his home so long as his father lived.
You have indeed had a life of trial.
I could barely get through it. I was forced to drag the whole load when he relapsed into his evil ways.
She made a match, but lived alone, till spirits came to lease her home. She warmed her tongue to form a route, and blazed a trail not soon put out.
Afraid? What are you afraid of here with me?
I'm afraid that my instincts would be turned into ugliness.
Do you think that's what would happen?
I know it. You may live the same life here as there, yet it won't be the same life.
Now I see the consequence of this.
What is it you see?
I've seen it now for the first time, and now I can speak.
Mother, I don't understand you.
Perhaps I ought to go. No, stay here. Now, my boy, you shall know the whole truth, for now I can speak.
You surely cannot. No!
Yes,
no,
I can
no.
speak, and I will. And no ideals shall suffer after all.
Mother, what is it you're hiding from me?
Oh, ma'am, listen, do you hear shouts outside?
What's going on? Where's that light come from?
The orphanage has caught fire. On fire?
On fire! Impossible! I couldn't come from there!
Where's my hat? Never mind, father's orphanage.
A maiden, a mother, and now a crone. Her cast-off son reclaims her home. She lives to breathe his very air, though in his travels he acquired despair.
Maybe it wasn't the best idea for you to come home.
Does it even make you happy to have me home? Should have thought it was pretty much the same whether I was in existence or not.
Have you the heart to say that to your mother?
Well, you've got on pretty well without me all these years.
Yes, I have got on without you. That is true.
Mother, there's something I must tell you. I can't hide it any longer.
Oswald, what's the matter?
I complained of fatigue after my journey, but it wasn't ordinary fatigue.
You're not ill, Oswald.
I'm not downright ill, not what is commonly called ill, that is. Mother, my mind is broken down. Mother, can you imagine it? Anything so horrible.
My poor boy, how did this happen?
That's what I don't grasp or understand. I never led a dissipated life in any respect. You mustn't believe that of me, Mother. I never did.
It will pass over, my dear boy. It's nothing but overwork.
I thought so too, but it isn't so.
When did you first notice it?
It was after I had come home and been gone back to Paris again. I began to feel what I thought was nothing but an ordinary headache, which I had suffered since my youth, but...
Yes?
But it wasn't. I couldn't work anymore. All my strength was crippled. I couldn't see clearly. Everything swam before me. It was an awful state. At last I sent for a doctor, and from him I learned the truth.
Well?
He said there's been something worm-eaten in you from your birth. He used those exact words, worm-eaten.
What did he mean by that?
He said, the sins of the father are visited upon the children.
The sins of the father?
I nearly struck him in the face.
The one she loved loved another, and sired a child without any bother. To keep it hidden was no small feat, till time threatens to withdraw the sheet.
A little while ago, you spoke of the joy of life, and a new light burst over my life and everything connected.
I don't understand you.
When your father was a young lieutenant, he was full of life. He had to live at home here in this town, where he was unhappy. He had no interest in his work. He had no friends, only drunks.
Mother, do you mean to say that father...
I brought no brightness into his home. I'm afraid I made this home intolerable for your father, so he, in return, found someone to bring the light back to him.
Why didn't you tell me this in your letters?
I never thought it was important enough to bring up. I felt so utterly guilty because Regina had the right to be at home in this house just like my own boy.
Regina?
I don't. Yes, now you know it. Both of you.
Regina?
So Mother was that kind of woman.
Your mother had many good qualities, Regina.
Yes, but she was one of that sort, all the same. If you please, ma'am, may I be allowed to go away at once?
Of course, you can do as you like, but...
Go away now, your place is here.
This wasn't at all what I expected.
Regina, I have not been frank with you.
No, that you haven't indeed. If I'd known that Oswald was an invalid, that nothing had become serious between us, I really can't stop out here in the country anymore. I think you might have brought me up as a gentleman's daughter, ma'am. It would have suited me better.
If you ever need a home, Regina, come to me.
No, thank you, ma'am. Pastor Rivers will look after me.
Knocking spirits ruled the night, placing all within plain sight. With nowhere left for grief to run, it gives its light to the sun.
She's gone for good, hasn't she?
Yes?
Now, we have a little talk, Mother.
Yes, let us.
Well, you must know that all this fatigue isn't all the illness itself.
Then what is the illness
It's a
itself?
disease I have. It's rooted here.
Oswald, no.
It breaks out at any day, at any moment. But when I came to know the state I'd been in, the dread descended upon me, raging and ravening, and I set off for home.
Then this dread...
Yes, it's so indescribably loathsome, you know, for I'm not so afraid of death. I should like to live as long as I can. But this is so unutterably loathsome to become a baby again, to have to be fed, to have to...
This child has his mother to nurse him.
Mother, do you see this?
What is it?
Morphine.
Oswald, my boy.
I've scraped together 12 pills.
I shall never survive this.
It is you that must come to the rescue, Mother.
I?
Who would do it if not you?
I, your mother? I who gave you life?
I never asked you for life. What kind of life have you given me? Now you must take it back.
Help!
Where are you going?
To fetch the doctor, Oswald.
You should not go out and no one should come in. You know a mother's heart for me, and yet you can see me suffer from this unutterable dread?
Here is my hand upon it.
Will you?
If it should ever be necessary, yes.
Well then, we can live together as long as we can.
Do you feel calm now?
Yes?
There now. The crisis is over. You see how easily it passed? Oh, I was sure it would. And do you see, Oswald? What a lovely day we're going to have. Brilliant sunshine.
Mother, give me the sun.
What do you say?
The sun.
Oswald, what's the matter with you? What is this? Oswald, look at me. No, no.
The end, it comes in its own time, but is truth fully a crime? A crime to claim our sins as our own, or perhaps they too are alone. Ghosts, we are all of us ghosts. It is not only what we have inherited from our mother or our father that walks in us. It is all sorts of dead ideas and lifeless old beliefs and so forth. They have no vitality, but they cling to us, and we cannot shake them off. Whenever I take up a newspaper, I seem to see ghosts gliding between the lines. There must be ghosts all the country over, as thick as the sands of the sea. And then we are, one and all, pitifully afraid of the light.